So without the pretty language, without using any big words, can you tell me what's your health plan? What's it going to cost? How are you going to get it done? How can you work with the Democrats on coming up with a health plan that works for everybody?
First of all, let me go in and just address the assumption here in the discussion. We also have a healthcare system that, in reality, if you are sick anywhere in this world and you can afford it, you will come here for your care because we do have access to the best care. But you're right, there are too many people that don't have access to that care. So what we need to do is to be able to address, number one, coverage and access to insurance, and number two, be able to demonstrate that we can bring down cost. Now, this notion that somehow we are going to allow the government to take over providing the care because that's going to address the cost factor is just a false start. You can't assume that this place in Washington is going to do things efficiently. What we do know is we need to promote the ability for people to, number one, if they lose their job, they don't necessarily lose their health care. Number two, if they are sick and have a pre-existing condition, we must allow for them the ability to access affordable coverage, because that's a huge issue right now. How people can actually access that coverage when they are sick. And that has to do with expanding the risk pools, if you will, giving people the ability to access much more affordable coverage. Right now, we are so tied to a third-party payer system that, you know, people are at a whim cut off from access to care. So we've got to go back to centering our focus on patient-doctor relationships.
All right, well, look at that. Congressman Eric Cantor, thanks very much for coming on the show once again.
Thank you, Eric. I want to talk about the Republican Party.
Okay.
Oh, please, please.
So you ask
should.
Eric a question about health care. Doesn't really have an answer for the alternative to health care. John Boehner was asked, any more bailouts? It's an interesting question. No answer there. It seems to me the Republican Party has to do one of two things.
Yeah.
Either they come up with an alternative or they stay off the stage. Well, because I see no alternative on health care. I see no alternative on the environment. You know, just going out and listening to people is not going to do it. Talking in generalities is not going to do it. They're going to have to come up with a plan of their own.
Well, but what is the deal with them? No matter who you have on, with very few exceptions from the Republican...
Paul Ryan's an exception.
Yes,
Paul has good ideas when he comes on.
Yeah, but Eric Cantor is here, and he couldn't explain in English what their proposals would be, how they differ from the Democrats, and where they share...
Well, they don't have an alternative
Well, you talk
plan.
about...